How y'all doing out there? This is Pete. We're over at D.I.Y. Auto School, and I'm just getting set up here because we got a very special product in today. And what this product is, this is a microprocessor arc welder. But I'm not doing a review on just that. The reason I want to do a review on this is, first of all, this thing is dirt cheap. Make sure you check the description of this video for coupons on purchasing this and the price of what this thing is. You're not going to believe it.
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
What's in this box that you're looking at, this little box here, is an arc welder. It's a microprocessor arc welder. They've been around for several years now. Everybody knows about them. But the real deal on this is not just an arc welder. This is a plastic welder. This little tool that you're looking at is a plastic welder. Now, for everybody that does automotive paint and body work, knows exactly what I'm talking about. What we're talking about here, we're talking about a bumper cover. Now, I got a piece of a bumper that was wrecked. I didn't want to bring the whole bumper in here, so we're going to use this as an example, and we're going to cut this thing in half, and I'm going to show you how this thing works. What this little tool is going to do, this tool is going to save you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars when you get somebody in that wants either a plastic fender repaired instead of purchasing a new one, or possibly fixing a plastic bumper cover. We're going to go ahead and open this up. We're going to check it all out. We're going to do some welding with the arc welder. I got some welding rod from our buddy Jed, River Rat Welding. We're going to use that, and then I'm going to cut this piece here. I got a saw, and I got my cutting wheel. We're going to cut this up, and we're going to weld this thing together, and we're going to see how good this thing works. I'm going to tell you again, for the price that this thing costs, can make you thousands of dollars. This is a tool that I strongly recommend that you invest in. Now, here's another situation before we open it. I was telling you that it's a plastic welder, and that's the main reason we're checking it out. But let's say we get into the front end structure of a vehicle, and we don't want to pull our MIG welder out, and we don't have to make the weld look really pretty. We just got to make it strong and durable. Okay, there's a lot of collision jobs that you're going to fix that the people don't have all the insurance money to pay for the job, or possibly they're paying out of their pocket and they want to cut corners, save money. That's where the arc welder comes in. We're going to go ahead and pull that little dent out. If it's cracked right here, we're going to take our arc welder, we're going to zap it back together and be done with it. So this tool is a multi-use tool for the automotive paint and body industry. We're going to open it up. We're going to check it out right now. All right, so let's go ahead and open the box up and see what we got in here. As you can see, the box is very small. It's very light. I would say that it weighs approximately 12 pounds maybe, if that. I wouldn't say that it would exceed 15, and it might weigh less. So we're going to open it up just like this. And as you can see, it's packed very, very nicely. Now here's our instructions. Let's go ahead and look those over just real quick like. And this is going to give you an explanation of how this thing works. So we're going to open each page up. And you can see it comes with several different models. I believe the model that we have is the 140 amp. The MMA 140 amp, that's the one we have. This is the smallest one they make. And it goes from 140 all the way up to 200. It goes through the dangers that you should watch out for. It also tells you brief instructions of the principle, which means how to use it. We're not going to read any of this. We're just going to glance through it. Here's our control panel right here telling you which is what and what's which and how to set your settings. You can see that right there. Very, very explanatory. It's 110 volt or 220 volt. You can convert it to 220 or 110. The unit that we have, the duty cycle percentage is 15 to 40 C. Hot start, yes. Arc force, yes. VRD, I don't know what that is, but it says yes. It says lift TIG, no. It does not have a lift TIG on this particular unit. You'd have to get the 180 if you want the lift TIG. I don't know what lift TIG is, but on the 180 amp model, it does come with that. 180 and 200. Hot stapler, yes. That's what we're looking for. So our manual is very, very important and crucial to use, and it's going to show you everything. And I suggest before you use this, go ahead and read it and check it out. All right, so we're going to go ahead and pull our equipment out. We got a ground cable in this bag. We got our arc welder holder in this bag. Here is a plug, converter plug, to convert it from 110 to 220. And then over on this side over here, we got our hot glue gun, we're going to call that, our hot spot gun. That's what we're really interested in. I'm excited to use this. And then as I pull our machine out of the box, and look what they give you. They actually give you one welding rod. I didn't even know that came with that. So as we pull it out of the box, look how small this is. We're going to go ahead and open this up and check it out. And you can see right there, this is the 140 amp, the MMA 140. And yeah, this is really looking exciting. So let's get all this unpacked and we're going to check out each individual item. The first thing that we are going to unpack is our staplers. Now, these are our wave staples is what they call these, and there's 100 of them. You get 100 of them. You can purchase these at your local paint and body shop supply store, and they should be the same accurate precision that fits into our glue gun itself. Now, on the side of this glue gun, there is a trigger right here that you would push in to hold it that would get the heat going so you can glue that together. So we got our 220 volt converter cord here. Now, once again, if you use 220 volts, you're going to actually get 20 more amps out of it. Using 110, you're only getting 120 amp use. The ground cable, this is very long. I'm really shocked. This ground cable is, let me go ahead and see how long this thing is. So the ground cable on this, now I'm 6'5", so if I hold this down here with my foot, this is 6'5" right here. This is approximately maybe a 10-foot cable. That's a pretty long ground cable. I'm actually shocked that they would give you that long one. Let's go ahead and see how long our arc cable is. So I'm going to go to 6'5", and you can see this is the same length. This is just enormous. I would say that's 10 foot as well. And then as far as our plastic welder goes, it's not going to be that long. Let's see. I would say this is probably 5 to 6 feet long. So, wow, that's a long situation right there. Another thing I want to go ahead and mention about this little machine is this is actually a very economical and portable type machine to take with you if you need to travel or do some type of repair out in the field or possibly away from your shop. All right, so we're going to go over the machine very quickly. On the back of the unit, you got your power cord, your on and off switch right here. There's also a connection down here. You're going to see a little ground diagram. If you want to put a ground on that, you can do that at that screw right there. As we turn it around, there's going to be 3 settings over here. This is your setting switch on this side. You're going to have your plastic welder, you're going to have your MMA, which is manual welding application for your arc welder, and then you're going to have an OC light that comes on, and that's an overcharge. That means that you are overusing it, and that light will come on if the current is overcharged. Over on this application right here, this is going to be your variable amperage switch. And on these 3 settings right here, you do have VRD, which is your voltage reduction. And what that's used for is when you are changing your electrode rod taking it off of the machine and putting another one on, the volts of the machine will literally automatically drop, so you can change everything out without manually doing it. So let's go ahead and plug this in, and we're going to see exactly what's going on with this thing. Now I'm going to go ahead and use 110 volt. This cord is approximately 5 feet long, I would say, and more than enough length to do what we're going to do. And it is now on. And then as we look at the unit, you can see that this actually has, look at that, it goes up to 120 at 120 volts, but it actually has a digital gauge on it, which is really nice. And we're going to turn this down to 70 amps. That's about the approximation we want for the rod that we're going to be using. So far, this is actually a pretty cool item. Now here's our current, telling our current, and then if anything else comes up as a reading, it'll also occur right here. And we are actually in welding mode right now, so to get it into plastic mode, you would push down until this bottom one lights up, and then to get it into welding mode, you would go up there. Now I want to show you, when you put it in plastic mode, you can see that we have different lights that occurred, and now we are in the heat range of 1 or 2 only. 2 being the hottest. That would be for our plastic welder. So we're going to go ahead and push our button up, and we're going to go ahead and get that back to the welding. And now we're going to go ahead and try our welder out and see what happens using it as an arc welder. Now this is supposed to have the hot start technology, so hopefully it will work. So there's our weld on that. Let's go ahead and we're going to take our angle iron, and now we will go ahead and weld that together as well. Son of a bitch! Did you see that, people? Did you see that right there? Son of a bitch! You should never leave an electrode hooked up to your arc welder and machine turned on and set it on a metal table that's grounded. Son of a bitch! We just learned that lesson, didn't we? I'm going to let you know right now, I am not an arc welder. I don't claim to be an arc welder. I'm basically winging it on the arc welding situation. And I will be honest with you, the hot start on this is impeccable. It works awesome. The 6013 rod on our 1/8 inch plate steel at 73 amps works badass. This can be used, like I said, in the collision world, and can be used for welding panels together. You can even use this as a spot welder on sheet metal if you want to. This is an all-in-one type welding machine, and I am very, look at this. I'm actually impressed by the weld that this thing put off. So now that we went ahead and used our welder as an arc welder, we're going to go ahead and plug in the plastic welder. Now once again, there's a little notch on this that you have to line up, and this is only a 2-prong plug, but it still has to be lined up properly to use. And then once you line that up in there, just like that, you can go ahead and screw it on and be done with it. Now I'm pretty sure, and we're going to go ahead and disconnect this, that we don't need a ground cable for our plastic welder. So we'll go ahead and connect the two together using some C-clamp channel vice grips. So we now have our bumper cover ready to go ahead and weld back together, save our customers some money. They don't have insurance. They need their car on the road. They don't want to get pulled over by the police and get tickets for having faulty parts, bumpers dragging, this, that, and the other. So we have now went ahead, cleaned all of our rips and gaps, and we are now ready to weld. So we're going to go ahead and turn our machine on, just like that. And then in the back of the machine, in the front of the machine, once again, we're going to go ahead and let it run through its process. And now what we're going to do, we're going to hit this button here, which is going to take us to our plastic welder. You can see on there it says 2. That's the heat range. Let's go ahead and move that to 1 and see what happens using it at the 1 heat range, and hopefully it's going to work. So you can now see that we've loaded up our welding staple into the gun. There's a trigger right here on the side. Now it says to push the trigger in until you see that turn red or bronze. So we're going to go ahead and pull that trigger. And you can see it getting red. So now we're going to go ahead and use that to glue it together. Just like that. So we're going to go ahead and load another staple. Now you've noticed I put my gloves on at this time because these things are probably very hot. We're going to pull the trigger. We're going to wait for our staple to get red hot. And then we're just going to repeat our process until we're done stapling. So that's on setting 1. Let's go ahead and bump it up to 2 and see how hot it gets and how quick and accurate it gets for this other one over here. Once again, I strongly suggest that you use gloves when installing these staples. So now we're on heat range 2. You can see it heats up a lot quicker. And it actually melted, it started the plastic on fire. Let's go ahead and do that again. Boy, that thing really getting hot there. So we went ahead and did 2 heat range on this. You saw what happened. That thing really gets hot. This, my friend, is an unbeatable situation. I'm going to tell you that right now. For the money that this thing cost, it's unbelievable. What's my conclusion to this little handy dandy welder made by VEVOR? Tough tools, half price? Yes, it is. Okay, trust me, this thing is a master machine if you are in the paint and body industry. It comes with an arc welder. You saw the welding that we did with that. Let me go ahead and bring that over here. Immaculate. I mean, this is just shocking. That's 1/8 inch. This is 1/8 inch, okay, 1/8 inch steel that we welded with 6013 rod. We used our plastic welder right here. We're going to go ahead and take this off. Now, of course, if this was going to be a professional job, you would actually put more staples on it to hold it. But you can see it's prepped up, ready for body work. The staples that would go right here, you'd actually add probably 2 or 3 more over here and 2 or 3 more over here, and that would be a solid fix. We went ahead and used the 1 heat range on this. We noticed that that worked very, very well. It's sturdy. Over here on this side, we went ahead and used the number 2 heat range. It was too hot. It was too hot for a plastic bumper cover, and you can see where one of the staples actually went through, but it did work. And if we would have stapled it a lot accurately and closer together, that would have been a very good repair as well. So, my conclusion is, if you are in the automotive body industry, you want to save some money, you want to do things the right way, then I suggest you really seriously look into this VEVOR welder. I'm going to keep this. This is an awesome tool. I love it. If I come across anybody that needs their bumper repaired or fixed, I'm ready. If I come across something that I don't want to pull my big welder out, I need to do a quick spot weld or possibly weld up part of a structure of a vehicle, and I don't need to get my welders out and turn gases on and all this other stuff, you're damn right, I'm keeping it right there. It's a good situation. It's a situation that says VEVOR came through once again. This is Pete, my friend Pete, your friend Pete, fixing bumper covers and welding metal with the machine. I love this thing. I really do. This is going to be a tool that will be used quite a lot. Make sure that you check the description out in this video. It's going to have discount codes in there to get it even cheaper than what I bought it for. VEVOR is not paying me for this. I only do reviews on tools that I think are worth the money, and I buy all my own tools. If it turns out to be a piece of shit, I'm going to tell you it's a piece of shit. This is not a piece of shit. Look at this. Look at this. Okay? Do you see what's going on here? Do you see this right here? Look at this. I got a plastic welder right here. Okay? I got this welder right here, and I got this welder here. You can't go wrong, people. You can't go wrong. My friend Pete, your friend Pete, doing it right, because if we're not doing it right, what are we doing? You answer that, and I'll see you on the next one.
Thanks for watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.